I lay in my hospital bed, the sterile smell of antiseptic lingering in the air, my heart pounding with a mix of anxiety and exhaustion. The fluorescent lights hummed softly overhead, casting a pale glow over the dimly lit room. I couldn't sleep, my mind racing with worries about my condition and the eerie silence that enveloped the hospital at night. As I stared at the ceiling, I heard the faint sound of footsteps echoing down the hallway outside my room. At first, I dismissed it as the nurses going about their rounds, but the footsteps sounded different. Hesitant, almost hesitant, as if whoever was out there was unsure of where they were going. Curiosity piqued. I swung my legs over the side of the bed and padded over to the door, peeking out into the hallway. The corridor stretched out before me, empty and deserted, the only movement coming from the flickering lights above. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw something. A shadowy figure standing at the far end of the hallway. My breath caught in my throat as I watched, frozen in place by a mixture of fear and fascination. The figure seemed to shimmer and waver, its form indistinct and blurry. I blinked, convinced that my eyes were playing tricks on me. But when I looked again, the figure was still there, its presence looming like a specter in the darkness. Heart pounding, I stepped out into the hallway, my footsteps echoing loudly in the empty space. I called out, my voice trembling with fear, but there was no response. The figure remained motionless, its gaze fixed on something unseen in the distance. Determined to unravel the mystery, I crept closer, my pulse racing with each step. As I drew near, I could make out more details. A tattered hospital gown, pale, lifeless skin, and empty, hollow eyes that seemed to stare straight through me. And then, in a sudden, chilling realization, I understood. The figure before me was not alive. It was a ghost, a restless spirit doomed to wander the halls of the hospital for all eternity. Terror seized me as I stumbled backwards, my mind reeling with disbelief. How could this be happening? Was I losing my mind, or was the hospital truly haunted? But even as I huddled beneath the covers, trembling with fear, I knew that I could not escape the truth. The hospital was haunted, and I was trapped in its ghostly embrace. The rest of the night passed in a blur of terror and uncertainty. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind outside filled me with dread, as if the very walls of the hospital were closing in around me. When morning finally dawned, I emerged from my room, pale and shaken, to find the nurses bustling about as if nothing had happened. I wanted to tell them about the ghostly figure I had seen, but I knew they would never believe me. And so, I kept my secret to myself, haunted by the memory of the dead body roaming the halls of the hospital, forever trapped between this world and the next. And as I lay in my bed, staring up at the ceiling, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was only a matter of time before the ghost came for me too.